In this video, you'll learn how to build a raised garden bed, and we'll walk you through step by step so you can get it up and running quickly. For this project, we used cypress, and we have four 12-foot boards that are 1x6s. You can use anything like redwood, cypress, or cedar for yours, depending on the area that you are and the availability of these types of woods. You definitely want to stay away from any of the pressure treated, simply because that can leach into your garden. The first step in the process is you want to clear out an area where you're going to put this. You see we moved a lot of dirt and removed any of the weeds and everything that you see here. And then Gina will walk you through this next process of actually putting it all together.
All right. So I don't know if you can tell it, but you need to make sure you're cutting one or both ends. You need to square it up. And you can see if I'm up against the board here, this is not square. And with rough cut lumber, it's usually not square. Best way to make a square cut with a circular saw is with a square tool. So just line it up, hold it. We're just going to take a little bit off. Line it up and you hold it. If you can get both sides, great, but if not, just hold it tight. Now, it's squared up. So we're making a 4x8 garden bed. I've got four 12-foot boards, so we're gonna have 4 long sides, 4 short sides of 8 feet and 4 feet. Rough cut lumber also usually, if they say it's 12 feet, it's usually over than that. Here, after I cut that off, we're still looking at 12 and 1 inches. So I'm going to mark 12 with my pencil. Now I'm going to extend that line. So I can kind of see it when I'm cutting it. And then I'm still going to guide it with my saw, just to kind of keep a straight edge. Now, we're going to mark the 8 feet. And that's going to be our cut. So if I do that, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch short on my 4, which is fine because our beds will be a little bit more than 4x8. And when you're cutting a long board like that, whatever board, the short board that's going to be cut off, you can support it a little bit, but you don't want to support both ends, because then it's going to pinch this, because it's going to make the boards go in. And that's actually, you're going to get kickback with that. So if anything, let that kind of hang. If it's a lot of weight on it, you may want to put something to support it, but if not, it's okay. Just go with the cut and let it fall off. That way you won't have any kickback or pinch in the blade. So support the long side, let the short side go. And we're just going to go right in between. So now I just got to do that 3 more times. So we'll make the first box. We're going to use these structural screws because these are really cool. They're a little extra strength. You can see they're 1/4 inch thick. Sorry, 5/16. Wow, it's probably a little more than I needed, but these boards are not coming apart. And you can tell most structural screws have a way bigger star bit, and that gives more grip. This is for the regular screws that I have. So we're going to put 2 per side. And we're just gonna have the short boards. So just kind of sit it up if you can. Same with this. You're just trying to get it close. I had to move some dirt out of the way. Alright, so you just kind of want to get them together. And we're going to start screwing. You supposedly do not need to pre-drill with these. We're going to see how that works out. We'll check both of these sides. Alright, so we need to lift this side up. I don't know if you can see that. If I lift the level up on this side, it goes up. So we're going to move some dirt. And I'm just covering up some holes to make it even. Obviously it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, that's much better. So we'll just go around and check. Oh, that's good. All right. Again, that's a little off, but we'll see if we can take some out of these. But if everything is level, that's where we're going to keep it. Yeah, and that's perfectly level, so we're good. Actually, I think we're going to build the box next to it, and then we're going to put it on top. Be careful. These are a little heavy and just a little awkward to pick up. And if it's rust cut lumber, be careful for your shins, because you will get a pretty good scrape. So what I do is kind of just lift it up on top and then just kind of throw it over. And now you can kind of level this out, and then we're going to add 6 posts. It's going to keep these all together nice and flat. So when you put your post in, so we're just under 12 inches. So I like to put my posts probably about an inch or so below the top, and I want it kind of in there really sturdy. So I'm going to do this at 11. Now if your ground is fairly level, all of these will be the same. If they're not level, which I've had on slopes, you're going to have to make your boards different lengths to make your garden bed level. But it looks like 11 all the way around should work here. And we're just going to cut these boards with my miter saw, circular saw. And these are just 2x2s. All right, we got 6 of these. We're now going to use the small screws with the smaller bits. Actually, let me... And we're just putting 2 per. So these are 2.5-inch deck screws.
Okay, now that we've built everything, it's time to add the soil for planting. You first want to calculate how much soil you actually need, and you can find soil calculators everywhere. In fact, we'll have a link in our description below where you can go to our calculator and calculate it. But simply put in your length by feet, your width by feet, and then the height by inches. And for us, we came out to needing about 1.19 cubic yards. Since it's such a large volume of dirt, we went to our local lumber yard that sells garden soil. From there, you can do the same. Just look up local lumber yard or even topsoil, and you should get some local people. You can also do this from like Home Depot or Lowe's. It'll just be a little bit higher price, but they can deliver it and it'll be more in volume instead of little bags. The other thing we did get is we also got 3 bags of black cow manure and potting soil, and then 1 bag of jungle growth just for our plants. And as you can see here, we're filling it up, and then we realized that doing it bucket by bucket works really well. And unfortunately, you don't see me a whole lot on the side, but I'm the one filling up those buckets, and Gina's the one that's emptying them. So just so you know. But you'll want to fill it up and get it up to the height that you need it and spread it out a little bit. And once you do all of that, then the next step is to actually add the plants that you want to grow for your garden. Okay, now it's time to plant. So here are all the plants that we're planting here. It's the end of March, so in Florida, we're able to plant things like zucchini, squash. We are trying some potatoes and some onions just to see if it's not too late. We also have several varieties of tomatoes, some cucumbers. We're trying eggplant. We also have some oregano, and you also see in here we have some drip irrigation. We also bought more jungle grow just because from putting it together and then actually planting, 6 months has gone by. And so we wanted to make sure that the soil is nice and nutrient rich. So we bought some more soil. Depending on what kind of plants you have, a lot of them will tell you how to plant them. But by and large, you usually have a grid style where you can do 1 per 6 inches or 1 per 12 inches. And some plants even allow you to do 2 per 12-inch grid. So you just want to plan it out. As you see, we are putting all of these together in a system to make sure that they'll look right, and then just putting them in according to the directions on the little label. And now we should know in about 2 to 3 months just how well it's doing. I've taken a couple of pictures for the last 2 weeks that we've had it, and it's looking really good. We've also added netting. You'll want to make sure that you put netting around it to keep any birds or any critters out of it. For instance, our adopted backyard chicken has decided that she likes it, so that was one of the reasons why we put it up sooner than later. So let us know in the comments below, what are your favorite items to grow in your backyard? And thanks for watching.